welcome to Parsha Ponderings. I'm Rabbi Elizabeth Bonnie Cohen, and I'm excited to be joined by my colleagues this morning.
Hi, Rabbi Bonnie Cohen.
Hi, Rabbi Starr. Hi, Talia.
Hi, Talia.
Hi.
I'm so struck by this week's Parsha, where we get the introduction of the first wave of plagues, that as we are experiencing liberation, or as the Israelites are going through a process of liberation, just how much pain is involved in that process. Liberation comes at a cost. And I think, especially when we think about that in contemporary times, it's hard for those of us in a position of privilege to acknowledge that liberation for others may come at a cost to us. So I'm curious how you think about that, in relation to this week's Parsha.
It's very hard to get to a place where people can see things beyond their own interest. And I think you're pointing that out. You're just reminding us, freedom is a project. It's not an act. I mean, there are acts of incredible drama along the way, the passing of the 14th Amendment or, whatever it is. I think we sort of tend to over-focus on the acts and the drama, and we probably tend to under-focus on the project, probably because it's so hard, it's so exhausting. And I think that's what makes the Torah such a wonderful book spiritually as well as educationally, which is telling us, it's a project. You got to work for it. And there are going to be a lot of setbacks.
It also reminds me of the borrowing of the gold and silver, that the Israelites borrow, maybe steal from their Egyptian neighbors, but the Egyptian neighbors are generous, and that feels like a key to liberation.
Yeah, there's an act of reparations, we could even call it, in that exchange of goods, that there is an acknowledgement of the way in which the Israelites have been oppressed, held back. Seems to be this sense of, in order for you to start afresh, in order for us to start afresh, we need to have more equal footing here.
The heartbreak of this in some ways is that you don't get do-overs for everything in life. I think we all feel like, yes, there are parts of myself I would love to change and I can't. There are things I'd like to undo that I can't. And actions have consequences and they do mold character, and you can't just do a reset all the time. And that's a part of this whole notion that, freedom is going to be really hard and it's not going to be magical.
So I'll just close us out by saying on that, Rabbi Starr, that we can be blessed with the sense of perseverance and persistence, to see that process through, to see kind of the incremental progress that we make, but also to see that there's simply increments, and that there's so much more work to be done, and that we can feel inspired by our ancestors and our story to do that work for a more liberated tomorrow. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you next week.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos.